The Leaning Tower of Pisa is more than just a marvel of architecture. It's a testament to human ambition, mistakes, and resilience. Built in the 12th century to flaunt Pisa's stolen wealth and military victories, this bell tower was doomed from the start. And the reasons? You will find out if you stick with us till the end. Despite numerous attempts to fix its famous tilt, from medieval adjustments to Mussolini's misguided efforts, the tower leaned further, creating quirks like uneven heights and steps. Miraculously spared during World War II, it faced near collapse by 1990 before modern engineers stabilized its tilt. Today, it stands as a symbol of history's imperfections and so much more that we will uncover in this video. So grab your snacks and dig in to feed your curious minds. What is the history of Pisa? Standing at a defiant angle, the Leaning Tower of Pisa has captivated the world for centuries for holding so many wonders and unanswered questions. A marvel of medieval engineering, or perhaps a colossal mistake, this iconic bell tower isn't just a monument, it's a mystery wrapped in marble. But how did a structure built with such grand ambition become one of history's most famous architectural blunders? And what dark secrets does it hide? The story begins in the 12th century, amidst the rise of Pisa as a Mediterranean powerhouse. The city, flush with wealth from military expeditions, constructed the magnificent Piazza del Duomo, a complex of Romanesque masterpieces. Among these stood the towering campanile, symbolizing the city's grandeur. But Pisa didn't realize that their grandest symbol of pride would soon become a symbol of unintended consequences. In 1173, construction began on what would become the infamous Leaning Tower. The foundation? It was completely unsuitable for a structure destined to weigh over 14,500 tons. By 1178, after only 3 stories had been completed, the unthinkable happened. The tower began to tilt. The contractors, desperate to save the project, devised a bold plan. Build shorter stories on one side to counteract the lean. But instead of fixing the problem, it exacerbated it. Research shows that by the time construction was halted, the tilt increased by 1 to 2 millimeters annually, creating a slow-motion disaster. But the tower's troubles were far from over. For the next century, Pisa was embroiled in wars and economic strife. It wasn't until after 900 years' gap that construction resumed, led by a new set of architects. The very ground that threatened to destroy it became the very thing that saved it. Engineers now believe the soft soil's dynamic interaction with the structure allowed it to withstand the violent earthquakes that struck the region over the centuries. A paradox that defied logic. Was the tower doomed? Or was it protected by the same flaw that cursed it? But it wasn't just nature that left its mark on this structure. Enter Galileo Galilei, one of history's greatest scientific minds. Born in Pisa in 1564, Galileo transformed the tower into a laboratory. Standing at its tilted summit, he conducted his groundbreaking experiment on gravity, dropping 2 cannonballs of different masses. What he discovered would change physics forever. Objects fall at the same rate, regardless of their mass. The Leaning Tower wasn't just an architectural anomaly. It became a launch pad for scientific revolution. That's the beauty of great minds. It always leaves a mark on your memory and thinking. And that's what this architectural experiment, that stands bold, but rather tilted like a smirk, holding history and significance, only a few understand. As centuries passed, the Leaning Tower of Pisa became a beacon of curiosity, but also a problem too big to ignore. By 1934, Italy's dictator, Benito Mussolini, launched a controversial project to straighten the tower. Determined to erase what he saw as a national embarrassment, Mussolini's engineers pumped grout and cement into its foundation. The result? A disaster. The heavy cement caused the tower to sink deeper into the unstable soil, worsening the tilt. Mussolini's efforts not only failed, but also solidified the tower's fate as an international spectacle. And yet, the Leaning Tower of Pisa endured. Between 1993 and 2001, a new team of engineers undertook a painstaking stabilization project, reducing the tilt from 5.5 degrees to 3.97 degrees, ensuring the tower's survival for future generations. Today, it remains an architectural wonder and a testament to resilience. But questions remain. Who truly designed this iconic structure? Was it the famed Bonanno Pisano, whose name was discovered on a bronze relic in 1820? Or was it the enigmatic Diotisalvi, whose works bear a striking resemblance to the tower's design? These questions are raised in the minds of observers. The debate rages on, adding yet another layer of mystery to this already perplexing monument. A 200-year struggle against time, war, and gravity. How does a tower, designed to stand tall and proud, instead become famous for its failure to do so? The Leaning Tower of Pisa is no ordinary structure. Its story spans nearly 200 years, marked by wars, scientific breakthroughs, and a battle against the very forces of nature. Yet, despite its imperfections, or perhaps because of them, it has captured the imagination of millions. Let's journey back to its turbulent beginnings. It all began on January 5, 1172, when a widow named Donna Berta di Bernardo donated 60 soldi, a modest sum, for the purchase of stones to build a bell tower. These very stones would form the base of what we now call the Leaning Tower of Pisa. Just over a year later, on August 9, 1173, the foundation was laid. By August 14th, construction of the ground floor of the white marble campanile began, a proud symbol of Pisa's prosperity during a time of military triumphs. But beneath this triumph lay a hidden flaw, a mere 3-meter foundation built on unstable ground. The architects had unwittingly set the stage for a centuries-long saga of tilts, halts, and daring rescues. By 1178, the tower had reached its second floor when disaster struck. The structure began to sink. Construction halted abruptly as Pisa's ongoing conflicts with Genoa, Lucca, and Florence consumed its resources. This century-long pause was a blessing in disguise, giving the unstable soil time to settle. Without this unintended hiatus, the tower might have collapsed entirely. Construction resumed in fits and starts. On December 27, 1233, a worker named Beninato, son of Gerardo Bottici, took over the project. By February 23, 1260, the reins passed to Guido Speziale, son of Giovanni Pisano. Under the guidance of master builder Giovanni di Simone, marble was cut from nearby mountains in April 1264, and work began on the upper floors. In a desperate attempt to correct the tilt, they made one side taller than the other. The result? A tower that doesn't just lean, it curves. But even this clever engineering couldn't shield the tower from the chaos of history. In 1284, Pisa suffered a crushing defeat at the hands of Genoa in the Battle of Meloria, and construction came to another standstill. By the time the 7th floor was completed in 1319, nearly 150 years had passed since construction began. Finally, in 1372, the bell chamber was added, designed by Tommaso di Andrea Pisano, who skillfully blended Gothic and Romanesque styles. The tower now stood, albeit tilted, at an uneven height of 55.86 meters on one side and 56.67 meters on the other. 7 bells were installed, each representing a note of the musical major scale, with the largest added in 1655. The tower, flawed yet magnificent, was complete. But its story was far from over. Centuries later, the tower found itself at the center of science and war. Between 1589 and 1592, Galileo Galilei did his scientific experiment that made this tower more than just a building holding histories, but also a work of science. Though his experiment is debated, its legacy cemented the tower's place in scientific history. Fast forward to World War II. The Leaning Tower narrowly escaped destruction when Leon Weckstein, a U.S. Army sergeant, was captivated by its beauty. Suspecting German troops were using it as an observation post, the Allies prepared to destroy it. But Weckstein's decision to hold fire spared the tower, a moment of humanity amidst chaos. A monument built on glory, war, and missteps. By the 12th century, Pisa was no ordinary seaport. It had risen to military, political, and commercial prominence, and like any medieval Italian city basking in newfound wealth, it sought to display its glory for the world to see. After sacking Palermo in 1063, Pisa's adventurers returned laden with treasures from Sicily, treasures that demanded a fitting showcase. The city's leaders envisioned a grand complex, the Field of Miracles, a cathedral, baptistery, cemetery, and a bell tower that would dwarf all others. The Leaning Tower of Pisa was born of this ambition, meant to stand as the tallest and most majestic structure of its age. But destiny had other plans. Pisa's architects, blinded by ambition, ignored a crucial detail. The city's name originates from the Greek word for marshy land. Building on such soft, unstable soil with a shallow foundation was a fatal flaw. But Pisa's soft soil wasn't exclusive to the Leaning Tower. The Church of Saint Nicola and Saint Michele degli Scalzi also boast tilting bell towers, subtle reminders of the region's geological challenges. Yet none captured the world's attention like the Leaning Tower of Pisa. The tower's lean creates fascinating quirks. Originally designed to stand at 60 meters, the highest side now reaches just 56.67 meters, while the lowest side measures 55.86 meters. Even the staircase is uneven, 296 steps on the north side, but only 294 on the south. Over the centuries, various attempts to fix the lean only made things worse. Among the most infamous was Benito Mussolini, who considered the tower an embarrassment. In the 1930s, he ordered hundreds of holes drilled into its base, filled with grout to stabilize it. The result? The tower leaned even more. Even World War II threatened the tower's survival. Used as a German lookout, it was a prime target for Allied forces. Yet, when U.S. Army Sergeant Leon Weckstein arrived to confirm the presence of enemy troops, he was so captivated by the beauty of the Field of Miracles that he spared the tower from destruction. A split-second decision saved this architectural icon. Finally, in the 20th century, the Leaning Tower faced its greatest existential threat, gravity itself. By 1990, the tilt had reached a precarious 5.5 degrees, enough to topple the structure. After decades of debate, engineers implemented bold measures. 38 cubic meters of soil were removed from the raised end, and lead counterweights totaling 870 tons were added. By 2001, the tilt was reduced to a safer 3.97 degrees, and for the first time in its history, the tower had stopped moving. The 20th century saw renewed efforts to stabilize the tower. By 1990, concerns over its safety reached a tipping point after the collapse of the Civic Tower of Pavia. The Leaning Tower was closed to the public on January 7, 1990, and drastic measures were taken. The bells were removed, cables anchored the tower, and 38 cubic meters of soil were removed to reduce its tilt. After over a decade of reconstruction, the tower reopened on December 15, 2001, declared stable for another 300 years. By May 2008, engineers announced that the tower had stopped moving for the first time in its history. The Leaning Tower of Pisa had defied gravity, war, and time. In 2023, the tower celebrated the 850th anniversary of its foundation, a testament to human resilience and ingenuity. Today, it stands not just as an architectural wonder, but as a symbol of perseverance through centuries of conflict and uncertainty. Something that faced so much destruction, but still stands not wrecked, but rather strong as the symbol of imperfection holding charm. Here's the catch. Can we fix it completely? Could today's tech erase that legendary tilt once and for all? The answer is a mix of genius and heartbreak. Yes, we can reduce the lean further, but completely fix it? Never. Not without tearing apart half the tower itself. Why? Because this isn't just a tilt, it's a double tilt. It started in 1178, right after they hit the third floor. The ground below? Unstable, soft, almost like quicksand. The tower began to sink, and construction stopped faster than a medieval knight in armor running uphill. When builders resumed years later, they decided to fix the lean by building the next floors at a straighter angle. So now, the tower is like two puzzles smashed together, a leaning base and an upper half trying to stand upright. Good luck fixing that without breaking it apart. Oh, and here's something most people don't know. The tower is completely hollow. Yup, it was never meant to be just a photo op. It was supposed to hold massive bells, tolling across Pisa, but today, those bells are gone. It's no longer just a bell tower. It's a statement, a reminder of human ambition, of how even flawed creations can become timeless wonders. Today, the Leaning Tower of Pisa stands stable and proud, declared safe for at least another 200 years. Its 7 bells remain silent, their movements too risky for the delicate structure. Yet visitors continue to climb its uneven steps, marveling at a monument that defied both nature and human error. Built to flaunt Pisa's stolen wealth, delayed by war, and saved by accident, the Leaning Tower of Pisa is more than just a quirky architectural marvel. It's a testament to human ambition, resilience, and our ability to embrace imperfection. As the tower celebrates over 850 years since its foundation, it reminds us that even our flaws can become our greatest strengths. From stolen treasures to a miraculous stabilization, the Leaning Tower of Pisa has proven that history's most fascinating stories are often imperfect. What's your favorite part of this legendary structure's tale? Share your thoughts below, and don't forget to subscribe to Mystery Media for more incredible stories from history. Hit that bell icon to stay in the know. And remember, the past is never as far away as it seems.